My name is Alyssa, and welcome to session 1 of our Grace and Strength Restoration Program. Today, our goal is to help you find a safe space to practice. So, I hope that you have found a really comfortable place at home where you can roll out your mat without distraction. Now, in today's class, you will need 2 blocks and 1 bolster. If you don't have that, then 2 cushions and a pillow is just fine. You might even want to have a blanket close by just for comfort for your final resting poses or from some other resting poses. So let's begin. Let's begin today's practice in a reclining butterfly pose. Lying down on our backs with our knees bent and soles of our feet touching, allowing our knees to sink out to the sides. You might want to place a blanket over you if you prefer. Remember to learn to listen to your body and see what makes you feel safe and comfortable. You might want to place the blocks or pillars underneath your knees as support. Just notice what feels better for you. Placing one hand on the heart and one hand on our belly as we begin to breathe. Just breathing naturally. Notice. Notice if the breath is fast or slow. Maybe see if we can lengthen out the exhale a little bit more. Then slowly start to see if we can empty out every bit of breath before we take another inhale. Finding the rhythm of our breath, just breathing naturally. Relaxing our facial muscles. Now I will be guiding us in the meditation. So start to relax your body and just focus on my voice. I want you to imagine. Imagine what a safe space for you is like. What would it look like? What can you see in this safe space of yours? Now take notice. What do you hear? What sounds are there in this safe space? Is there music or any voices, laughter, or just the sound of nature? Then start to notice. Do you smell anything in this safe space? Is there a particular familiar smell? Maybe it is simply that smell of fresh air, or the damp smell after it rains. Or maybe it is a familiar smell of certain foods you enjoy. Then start to notice. Is there any taste you can sense in this safe space? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Just starting to become aware of your surroundings. Then start to sense what you feel in this safe space. Maybe it's the temperature, the breeze or the warmth. Feeling and experiencing this safe space with all your senses. Take a moment to just enjoy this safe space. The peace you have knowing that you are protected, safe, and loved. Slowly reaching our arms overhead and stretch it out like we're stretching early in the morning. Lengthening out our arms and legs, feeling the stretch from our toes to our fingertips. Take a deep inhalation and exhale, release, bringing our arms back by our sides. Now let us just place our arms out to the side comfortably and bend our knees. Take a gentle twist as we allow our legs to fall out to the left side. Maybe keeping our shoulder blades touching the mat if that feels good. Start to remember that feeling of safety. What made you feel safe? Was it familiarity? Was it a combination of knowing what was happening and knowing everything was under control? What sensations did you have? Was it love, joy, or peace that you felt? Take a moment to make sense of what makes you feel safe. Slowly lift our legs up back to center. Tilt over to the right side now. Taking a nice twist there. Should be a gentle stretch in your lower back. Notice if there's a lot of tension. Often in life, what makes us feel unsafe is the unknown, the inability to know what will happen next. What will happen to us? Will I be protected? Or the bigger question, who will protect me? And will anyone protect me? Slowly coming back to center and straightening out our left leg on the mat. Keeping our right knee bent and hugging our right knee in towards our heart center. Just breathing naturally. Noticing if there's any tension released from our hips. The Bible tells us that our God is an all-powerful God. He spoke the universe into existence. In Genesis, he said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He said, "Let there be vegetation," and there was vegetation. He made every tree, each and every plant that there is on this earth. Designed every detail on every flower, on every leaf. Now slowly pressing our right knee to the right side of the mat and bring the right foot up towards our left hip flexor or just on top of the left thigh if you want. Coming into a reclining half lotus pose. Feel a gentle hip opening stretch here. If you want, you can place your right hand on your right thigh for this hip opening stretch. Breathing naturally. Now being all-powerful isn't enough, because many people who have power use power in the wrong way. The good news is that the Bible tells us that God is not only all-powerful, but He is also all-loving. In 1 John chapter 4 verse 8, it says that whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. The Bible tells us that God is love. It is in His being, it is in His character. When we know God, we experience His love. Slowly releasing our right foot, now pressing our right knee over to the left side of the mat. Coming into a nice twist for our lower back and maybe our glute muscles. Notice how far you can twist before your right shoulder starts to peel off the mat. Try to allow our shoulders to relax back down towards the mat. Now, maybe you have different perceptions of what God is like, but for a moment, join me in decluttering our minds of all preconceptions and assumptions of our idea of what God is like. Joining me in just simply meditating on what the Bible tells us about God's character. You and I can feel safe because we have an all-powerful God who made everything. The sun, the moon, the stars, the plants, every flower. He is also all-loving. He is love. He loves us and He cares for us. Let's slowly release and come to the other side. Together, let's straighten out our right leg and hug our left knee into our heart center. Naturally rolling the shoulder blades back if that feels good. And breathe. Releasing tension that might be stored in our bodies. Learning what feels good for our bodies. And learning to release tension that is held up. Things that don't serve us. Slowly draw the left knee to the left side of the mat and bring the left foot up towards our right hip flexors or just on top of the right thigh. Breathing in God's love and exhaling any lies about God's character that we might have believed. Even if we don't understand why certain things happen, we can know that our God is the God of the heavens and the earth. He is all-knowing, all-powerful, and He's the definition of love. Even when we feel uncertain about our situation, we can still be certain about Him. As long as He is in control and He loves us, we can feel safe. Let's start to relax our facial muscles even more. See if we can lengthen out our exhale. Then slowly releasing our left foot and pressing our left knee over to the right side. Let's take a little twist here. Taking time to experience this moment on the mat. The releasing of tension. Slowly releasing from the pose. Now I'm going to get my bolster. If you have a bolster, you can grab that, but if you don't, then a pillow is fine too. Now sitting up on our mats and placing the bolster or pillow next to our hips on our left. Placing our hands on either side of the bolster or pillow. Now slowly together, let's lie down to our left side along the bolster. Coming into a supported supine twist. Resting our left cheek down comfortably on the pillow or bolster. Bringing ourselves back to that safe space. Remember that we have a blanket ready. If you want to place it over yourself comfortably, you can do so. You can close your eyes if you want, but only if that makes you feel safe. Breathing naturally. When you are ready, let us come to the other side together. Either move the bolster or pillow, or just turn yourself to the other side. Adjust yourself accordingly to what feels good and comfortable. God spoke the universe into existence. He is all powerful, all knowing, all loving, eternal and limitless. Let these words sink in. Let us finish off today's practice with a supported child's pose. Coming into a kneeling position but with our knees out to the side and big toes to touch. Bring the bolster or pillow in front of you vertically between our knees and just lean forward and rest onto the bolster. Again, you can place a blanket over yourself if you want and just rest one side of your face onto the bolster or pillow. Taking this time to reflect on today's practice. Are there lies that you have to let go of today? Maybe you have heard it many times that God loves you, yet you find that concept hard to really digest. Or you wonder if God is really all powerful. Let us lift up our doubts and fears to God in prayer. For God is for us, not against us, and under His mighty hands we can take refuge. Place the other side of our cheeks on the bolster or pillow now, resting here as we meditate on the truth of God's character. Even in the unknown, let us trust our all-powerful and all-loving Father in heaven, trusting that all things work out according to His purpose and plan. Stay here as long as you want, spending time in conversation with God, or maybe listening to His whispers. Slowly wiggling your fingers or your toes. And if you're ready to come out of the practice, slowly coming back up into a kneeling position. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Maybe have a smile on our face to finish off our practice. Smiling because we know that we are loved and being looked after by our mighty and loving God in heaven. May you experience peace, receive grace, and be salt and shine light.